I'm trying to ground myself in this whole emotional thresholding. I've had a bit of turmoil internally for the last hour and a half because of the concepts of individual living and codependent metastructuring in relationships or even on platonics. The psychologies around controlling natures, possessive natures, and self-entitlement and a gender-neutral standpoint in comparison to also with men and women specifically, and even the aspects of platonic living structures in the quality of even maintaining individual dating space and paradigming, the concept of having shared bedroom with a person that you're romantically involved with, even in the aspect of it being a multi-bedroom unit and a person's like 6 feet away, which isn't the worst thing in the world. People have done that. People have had rooming houses where everyone kind of lives in like a giant house and all of that. But even at some point, it still kind of branches out because it's a dating paradigm thing. And I think that is why I have such an internal low-key animosity about the whole idea of non-romantic rooming and things is what I call it. Because of the inevitably wanting to kind of have that idea of individual living and dating structure and things like that to kind of focus and prioritize our life. That even you think, the act of kindness and things like that, it's like, yeah, but it's still a temporary thing. And even on the temporary act of kindness comes the convenience of the structure working in the sense. So it's like, even if like, you can come stay with me for a little while. It's like, yeah, but if that's the case, it's probably going to work out and then it's probably be permanent. And then what does that mean for just the structure of life in general, Right. They say parting is such sweet sorrow. Sometimes I don't even want to build a bridge on that because of knowing that life does have different outlet structures, and I'm not trying to say I have to go in on a perfect stride and do a perfect game, but then questions like that, it's like, oh, well, now what? In the last experience I had with relationships, a woman who I want to say we were more invested than off the ballot, but it was still kind of foot in our own yard kind of thing, even in the circumstances of me being wherever I'm at the time. Mentally, it was still feet in our own yard thing. So like words like intrusive were thrown around and overbearing and, argumentative because like we are functioning adults. But that's why I say as a man who has lived with women romantically inclined. I know, doesn't that sound so hopeful, optimistic on my part? Romantically inclined versus platonic. There's just problems, in my experience, there's problems with like insecurity and possessiveness and controllingness and mostly just like insecurity and stuff. And on the other end of living on the scope of platonic structuring, it's like maybe it's just like my whole inner thing workings is what I conceptualize to being a functioning man in today's world of just kind of attaining your own settings of such and such. It is a highlight compliment to character. But like, yeah, I don't know. Anywho, I was just so much turmoil about it, and I'm just like, so I'm just really trying to just like, all right, whatever. Because I do have like my practical things that I have to do, and I do have my motivations to try to configure life how it makes sense to me. Trivial pursuited and all that fun stuff. So I try to put any thought on it because it's always like a little distraction, right? I feel like that way sometimes. Anything else that I could put on this? I guess, no, that's it, yeah, it just makes sense. That just made sense to me. Women controlling women. That's all I got. Women are possessive and controlling. There's some stimulant happiness. Let me done. Done.